Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Apologies, we're a little bit late for those that are watching live. Usually start about 9:30 or 9. It's 10 past 10. Life gets in the way sometimes. I want to have some nice pizza with the family. Not going to see most of them before Christmas, so got it done tonight. Wasn't expecting to be back so late, but here we are. We're going to talk some FPL. We're not going to talk about the Salah assist because I don't really care. Didn't get given. Whatever. Already talked enough on Twitter about trying to teach people what the rule means. So yeah, I'm sure we're going to talk about Aubameyang, Sane in the points again, Sterling getting benched even though he only got benched a couple of games ago. Then came on and did well, which was good. Kane assists at the death. Yeah, Aubameyang failing. Lots to talk about, I'm sure. There's 4 polls, just got them up really quick, based on what you sent me on Twitter, which is should we go without premium strikers? So premium midfielders doing very well. Premium strikers maybe not so much. Sane or Sterling, so a lot of people were pro Sterling. Sane keeps doing the business, he keeps playing. Is Kane worth the money? And then Alonso in or out? So people get a bit frustrated with Alonso, and I'll talk about my point of view soon. Obviously, he only got 1 point today against Brighton, which was a bit unfortunate, or not unfortunate, but it sucked. Frustrating, I guess, is the word, not unfortunate. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's see how you see the polls in the top right hand corner. Click the little I button. But yeah, moving over to this screen. What's up, Gorav? How's it going? Yeah, I 46. Took a -4 hit. In the end, I didn't go for the Hazard Sane move. I took a 4-point hit. I did Trent to Schindler and Dean Garner to Felipe Anderson. So rather than just for free get Snodgrass, decided to get a Felipe Anderson. Hopefully that'll work out well in the longer term. But obviously the move I was looking at was taking an additional hit and doing Salah out, and then getting Sane and Hazard. So that's cost me, by not doing that move, it's cost me about 13 points. So not too bad. But at the same time, 13 points would be really nice right now. And I'd also have Hazard and Sane going forward. And I basically hate not owning Sane because you just know when he plays, he's going to get points. So that's getting a bit frustrating. So, yeah, my team was basically rubbish. Doherty finally got an assist. Finally got a clean sheet. No attacking returns, we'll forgive him. Felipe Anderson straight in with more attacking returns. West Ham looking pretty good at the moment, scoring quite a few goals most games. Jimenez is just a dream. But I left Wan-Bissaka on the bench because I bought in Schindler, and Sterling obviously only played for 30 minutes, scored straight away, which was nice. But obviously wanted a bit more from him in that home game. And then Ryan's just rubbish. So I fell like nearly 10,000 places. I was like 14,700. I'm 24,461. So obviously not quite 10k, but pretty bad. Did I win my cup game? Good question. I'm pretty sure I did because my opponent's team was rubbish. Even worse than mine. Yeah, he got 29. He had Salah captain, Firmino. He played Kante and Neves ahead of Felipe Anderson. I mean, it's a dead team. He hasn't made a change since Gameweek 2. So, United played so bad today. I didn't get to see most of the game. I could kind of half see a screen for about the last half an hour when I was in the pub. There just wasn't a good position to see it. So I didn't see the game, but yeah, 3-1. From what I saw, Liverpool had so many more shots and were just, as expected, attacking a lot more than Man United ever would. Danny Ings, of course, didn't mention him at the front, but yeah, he's back. Looked good, took both of his chances really well. Matt Target, great free kick. But 2 great headers from Ings. And Leno, what was he doing for the third goal? So yeah, Danny Ings. I mean, that's basically where the question about premium strikers comes in, because obviously Wilson's back now. Jimenez looks. I don't want to say must have, but he's a very, very, very good option for his price. And now Ings has come straight back and scored. And obviously, before he was injured, he was doing pretty well. I basically want more midfield slots. I want Hazard and I want Sane, but I don't really want rid of any of the players I've got. I know Richarlison's got a tough fixture again this week. It's Spurs at home, but he could have got something against Man City. And Everton's fixtures are pretty good. after this Spurs game. So obviously Sane is better than Richarlison, so arguably I should still do it. But same with Son. He got rested. He got benched, kind of rested, I guess. But he did come on, didn't get anything. I don't want to get rid of him because Spurs fixtures are so good. But again, is Sane and Hazard better? Arguably yes. And maybe I should start looking at downgrading Aubameyang to Ings. It'd probably be Ings or Wilson, and upgrading my midfield even more. But I think it's very hard to justify any premium strikers right now. And I mean, doubling up Kane and Aubameyang just looks like a complete waste of money. I know quite a few people did that with wildcards and stuff and transfers because obviously Kane was going to be the captain. And like I said, I did think that the thing with Kane, once you own him, you're going to captain him. Now, maybe Kane owners won't do it this week because Aubameyang and Sterling have got better fixtures. But the week after, they're going to go back to Kane. I do think that other options are just going to outscore him. Seeing you and Az going at it over the Salah assist. So, just to clear up the Salah assist, I was not in any way arguing that it should be a Salah assist. I was simply trying to explain that the way the rule works is it's final touch. It doesn't matter about an opposition it doesn't matter about intention if it just touches someone, as long as it's not an opposition player. That's all I was trying to explain. I did get a few get over it, he didn't get it, but I didn't care about the assist. It was more how it works. So we weren't going at it, just trying to explain what was going on, really. It's a couple of game weeks can't write off premium strikers altogether. Aguero can go crazy. Yeah, but the thing is, you're looking at 3 premium strikers, really, right? Aubameyang, Aguero, Kane. So, Aguero, I think we have to see more from Aguero before we can put him back in, because Jesus has played and got a brace now. There's a lot of games to come. There's going to be rotation. I'm not wrong. I don't want to get into this Salah assist, honestly, but trust me, you are wrong. If it touches a player, and if it touches a player on the team that score, and there's no defender involvement, it's an assist to whoever touches it last. It doesn't matter whether it was created, inadvertently touched on purpose. If Firmino passes it and it hits Salah and then goes to Shaqiri and Shaqiri scores, it's a Salah assist. There's no argument about it. You're just wrong. It doesn't matter whether you think that's correct, whether you think it should be like that. That is the rule. Anyway, what we're talking about, premium strikers. Yeah, so Aguero, I just don't think you can get him right now. I think Sterling and Sane look better options for not less money, because obviously Sterling's about the same. Sane's not the same though. Sane's cheaper, so I think Sane looks a better option. So if I'm going to double, I want to go Sterling and Sane. I don't want to go Sterling and Aguero. And with Jesus getting a brace now, obviously there was, I guess, a little bit of a worry there that he wasn't going to, maybe not going to score or whatever. He just hadn't played that well this season. But he's got a brace under his belt now. So I wonder if there'll be a bit of a rotation there. He's only just come back from injury. So I don't think Aguero is an option right now. And obviously I wouldn't write him off. Maybe after Christmas it'll be a bit different. And then Aubameyang. See, I watched pretty much all the game today. I missed like the last 15 minutes. And he got... On another day, I think he scores 1 or 2 goals in that game. McCarthy was just really on it. There was a great tackle from Bednarak, I think it was, where he just got in ahead of Aubameyang. I mean, I thought he'd scored. I was getting ready to say Aubameyang goal. And it was just a great tackle. And then there's a couple of other... I wouldn't even call them half chances. I call them good chances. And you could argue that Aubameyang didn't place them properly. They're kind of more right at McCarthy, but McCarthy was pretty good. So I don't know. He did get quite a few chances, and it's Burnley next. And I know they've just kept Spurs down to a single goal, but I don't know if that's suddenly going to be the norm. So I kind of... Our tackle was from Vestergaard, my bad. You got 44 points. Did I? Oh, so I did. Yeah, I can't change it now. I got 44 points. Where did I see 46? Okay, yeah, 44 minus 4. Hang on. Oh, I'd almost, yeah. I'm not going to go into it anymore. Aubameyang, yeah. I don't know. I thought he looked like on another day he gets points, but I don't know if I'm just trying to hold on to him and I'm trying to talk myself that. Has he lost his clinical form? I mean, yeah, you could argue that he was never going to keep up that conversion rate. Although he is, a lot of people pointed out, like who got the assist and stuff, pointed out that he's kind of always been like that, or he was the same last year. That he didn't get a lot of shots, but did convert quite highly. So, I don't know. I feel like Aubameyang would score on another day. He could get a good few chances. But Arsenal were pretty rubbish. I wasn't that impressed with him at all, to be honest. I think Iwobi and Mkhitaryan, I mean, obviously Mkhitaryan got 2 goals, which is nice for him. But, I mean, Ramsey needs to be on that pitch. I think he would make a big difference. So, I'll be honest, if it's a straight up between Aubameyang and Sane or Aubameyang and Hazard, then Aubameyang loses, I think. And that's my problem. I could switch Aubameyang and Richarlison for a Wilson or an Ings and get Hazard. That's something I'm considering. I think Hazard looks good again. Although we've seen he can go through patches and then suddenly won't get anything for a while. But he's got very good fixtures. So does Aubameyang, to be fair. And then Kane is the other one. And now I didn't see the Spurs game, so maybe you guys can tell me different. But I mean, I was refreshing Twitter a lot, and I was saying this. The thing with, I don't know what it is about Kane. I knew Sane would do well. I knew Hazard could get in the points, but I wasn't really refreshing to see their points. But when Spurs were playing, because I know how many people captained him and how highly owned he is in the top 10k, I was constantly refreshing, thinking he's going to score soon. He's going to score. He's going to wreck my rank, and it was really, it was a horrible time really to have to keep refreshing it. But all I kept seeing on Twitter, apart from maybe a shot early on in the first half, I think, was, Kane's passed here, Kane's played a ball through, as if he's like turned into an assister because he's dropping back so much. So I've not checked how many shots he actually had or how many shots in the box he had. But I just think for 12.6 million, he's just too expensive as well. Captaincy is obviously key with someone that expensive, and people who own him will captain him in the easy home games. And obviously Bournemouth is coming up, and that's a nice fixture. But I'm not going to get him, and I don't want to buy him because of fear. Even though I do fear what he can do, because obviously we've seen what he can do in the past. But I mean, people kept saying he's due a hat trick, but I mean, most of the reasoning for he's due a hat trick is because he got hat tricks this time last year, and he's got hat tricks before. But really, if you've watched him this year, he's not really looked like getting a hat trick. I remember the double against Huddersfield. I even remember after that game, I owned him, and I just thought he wasn't that good today. And obviously, he's got penalties, which are always going to help. But I'm not really in a rush to get him. I think if I drop Aubameyang, it'll be to go big in midfield. I think my midfield, if they all play, I think my midfield's already okay. Richarlison's probably the little worry this week, but after that, it's good. So yeah, premium strikers, I've kind of gone off them a bit. And there's not really anyone between them and Wilson. Like, you could go Vardy maybe. Lacazette's just not playing enough. You'd imagine he's now going to play in the League Cup, and then maybe he'll be on the bench again for the next league game. Morata, Giroud, I mean, there's just not options. So you're kind of going premium right down to cheap, and I just think that's the way I'm going. Who is more expendable in your opinion, Kane or Aubameyang? That's a real tough one. I think it comes down to who would you prefer to captain. I think most people would prefer to captain Kane than Aubameyang, because when Lacazette come on, I wouldn't say that Aubameyang turned into a winger, but he definitely made more runs out wide than Lacazette did, and obviously that's going to happen sometimes when they play both of those players. So probably Aubameyang, but I do think a bit of that is out of fear of just not owning Kane, because you know what he's done before. But it's not like Aubameyang's not scored goals before in his career. Is it me, or can anyone else see a pattern this season where at the start of the season we were all talking about premium defenders, now we're talking midfielders, perhaps it's premium forwards next? I mean, of course it could happen, but I'm not sure there'll be a time this season where having 2 premium strikers is the best way to score consistent points. They're just too expensive. Sane is obviously good while Mendy's out. When Mendy comes back, maybe he won't play as much. We have to wait and see what happens there. You've got Ali and Ericsson is in good form. No one's really talking about Ericsson. He keeps turning up with points. Obviously, he got benched, which is frustrating. But Felipe Anderson is returning consistently. And this won't carry on. These players will go out of form potentially. But there'll always be other midfielders to switch with. Whereas forwards, I've still got Salah, very expensive as well. A bit more expensive than Kane. But I'm probably a bit more confident about captaining Salah than I would be for Kane right now. So you could be right. Maybe there will be a part of the season. I just think this is just a thing with Fantasy Premier League now, because a lot of teams just play with one striker. Very rarely do you get a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 with, we're even seeing it at Arsenal now. They're not really playing Aubameyang and Lacazette that much at the moment. So you generally only see one striker. So that's why there's so many midfield options. And, maybe one day they'll switch Salah and the likes of Hazard. And if Hazard keeps playing false 9 till the end of the season, he'll get switched to striker next year. And that could be different. Or that could be, different next year. But yeah, our premium strikers are not really... I'm trying not to knee-jerk too much, because you can do that sometimes. You have a bad week, you watch Aubameyang, you get those, because the problem is, because the Saturday players didn't do that well, not striker-wise, Kane didn't do anything. Then suddenly you get the hope that, I didn't go for Kane, I went for Aubameyang. Here's a massive score on Sunday. It doesn't happen. It's very frustrating. So I'm trying not to knee-jerk too much, but I am a little bit worried about him. Both Arsenal and Tottenham will play fairly strong sides in the Cup. Spurs will want to return the league lost a few weeks back with midweek games next week too. Expect lots of rotation. Yeah, you're probably right. And obviously we'll be able to see the teams before we have to make any transfers, so that could help. But yeah, that's why I'm trying not to make too many big moves, because I know that the players I bring could get rotated, and then the week after, they'll be playing again. That's why I'm not trying to make too many moves, because if one of your players gets rested, chances are they just play the next game, especially for someone like Sterling or whatever. And actually, I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens in the cup game for Man City, who plays. If Sterling and Sane play again and Mahrez gets benched in the cup, then that'll be worrying about captain and Sterling. But if Sterling gets a rest in the cup, which now I'm saying out loud does seem pretty unlikely considering he only played 30 minutes of the weekend, but I'm pretty tempted to captain Sterling. I don't want to let the benching put me off, because if he does play against Crystal Palace, I think that's a great fixture for him. You captain Sane. Sane is absolutely a captain option. He should be right up there in the polls this week, especially if he gets rested in the cup. He should be your captain if you own him, I think. I just think Man City are that good. They're going to score another 3 or 4 goals against Crystal Palace. You've got to try and get the price out of your head. He's only 9.5, 9.6. Kane's 12.6. Salah's whatever against Wolves. Aubameyang's 11. If you get the price out of your head, then Sane should be your captain. No doubts about it. Am I selling Son? Probably not, but I will see what happens in the Cup. If Lucas Moura or Lamela don't play and Son gets good minutes, then the chances are he could get rested again. I might be tempted to sell. And I might look for a way to do Son to Sane. But we'll see. Mark from Fantasy Football Scout, ditch premium forwards in Gameweek 9. Yep, currently top of mods and cons. He's doing great, yep. Jimenez is Mr. Consistent. Jimenez is, we're going to start an appreciation club for him. Going to start selling memberships, and you get 2 for 1 on, or buy one get one free on the Doherty membership as well. Appreciation. Lukaku hasn't been essential since his 4 goals for Everton. Yeah, is someone saying Lukaku is essential? Definitely not. What happened to Hazard? FPL has him as injured. I think he went off with a knock, but Sarri said should be fine. The amount of times Hazard has a knock and then plays is... it happens a lot of weeks in a row. How much longer would you give City defensive assets tired of them conceding just one every game? Yeah, that happened to Spurs a couple of seasons ago. They had the best defensive record for ages, but they were conceding 1 goal every game. So they're from a real life football point of view, they were doing great defensively. But from an FPL point of view, their defenders weren't options at all. So yeah, Man City defenders, I just don't. I personally don't think they're worth it because we've even seen Laporte get rotated recently. So, and that's probably going to happen over Christmas, and that should chill out a bit as we get back into the new year. But I don't know, just not for me. Now, is there a rush to get rid of them? No, I don't think so. If you've got other stuff to do, then keep them. But if you can use them to fund a better move, a better defender, then yeah, I don't see the harm in getting rid of them. What to do with Kolasinac? I think today is probably I mean, they conceded 3 goals to Southampton, so that might help. But then, even when he's been in the team, they've not been keeping clean sheets. So I would probably wait on news and maybe see if he starts next game. But if Monreal starts again, then he has to go. Arguably, you could just do that transfer now because Monreal was pretty good, got one of the assists as well. But he's only just back from injury, so I would be tempted to keep Kolasinac for one more week and see what happens, see if he comes straight back into the team. But obviously, if he's going to be out, then you might want to start looking to get rid. Plus, Arsenal cannot keep clean sheets, so you really are looking just for attacking returns. Gaurav, thanks very much for the donation. What to do with Lacazette? Surely some rotation up soon. Look, if he starts against Spurs and Aubameyang doesn't, then he just has to go because your money would be on another benching for the next league game. Not necessarily, it's not guaranteed, of course, but I think that's the, where the smart money would be. So I think Lacazette is just a bit too expensive for someone that's just not going to play, even though he did outscore Aubameyang today. Who can keep clean sheets? Wolves, obviously, this week. Wilson and Ings or Rondon and Jimenez. I feel like they're weird options because you could surely do any combo of those. Although Jimenez has gone up quite a bit in price. I would probably have Jimenez and Rondon's fixtures are awful coming up. Southampton have 2 dodgy fixtures in about 2 or 3 game weeks. But the thing with Ings is, yes, there's a bit of a knee-jerk going on. He did look good. Would he carry it on? But I think he is Southampton's #1 striker, right? The problem is he is quite injury-prone. And he come back from a long layoff this season. He came back this season after a long layoff. He's been injured again already. So that's what worries me about him. But Southampton were okay going forward. Redmond I thought was pretty good. Matt Targett, great cross on him. Was on quite a few of the set pieces as well. But yeah, I think probably to answer the question, Jimenez and I'd probably just say Ings, I think. The thing with Wilson, I'm just betting against him because of the fixtures. Although the next one's pretty good. Am I benching in Jimenez and Doherty? No, let me show you my team for next week. I'm actually playing both of them. I'm playing Schindler again, although I'm not expecting a clean sheet. So I'm playing Schindler and Alonso, obviously, because of their fixtures. But then it's just Doherty, Wan-Bissaka against Man City and Keane against Spurs. So it's really Doherty or Keane. I'm just going to play Doherty because he's been so good to me. Gaurav again with a donation. Thanks very much. United next to Cardiff, Huddersfield. Anyone on option? I mean, I think Martial came on today, didn't he, against Liverpool? So him or Lingard would probably be the 2 I would look at. Rashford has now played 3, I think. Let me just check. 4 games in a row. 4 assists, and 1 goal in that time. Obviously, nothing today. So he could be an option at 6.9 as like one of your cheaper forwards. But I'd be a bit worried about Halfton. He'll definitely start, but he's only owned by 8%. And you're right, fixtures are great: Cardiff, Huddersfield, Bournemouth, and then you could look at defence as well. Someone like Lindelof, if you really want to try and get ahead of the curve on Man United clean sheets, but it's not been looking great recently, if we're honest. So I certainly wouldn't be in a rush getting Man United players. Even I'm not. But I did look at Lindelof earlier. Brooks to Snodgrass, I think looks good. Brooks obviously didn't play this week. Bournemouth's fixtures are tough. Snodgrass looks in great form. West Ham looking great form. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good move. Your Doherty plug was the shout of the season so far. I got to be honest, it came pretty close to me getting Patricio instead. Patricio, I can't remember who did I go for. Ryan. I think I was looking at Patricio and Duffy, and I went for Doherty and Ryan instead. So I mean, it did look out pretty good, but it was quite close. And I wasn't the only one that week talking about him for sure. Cheers, Jack. Glad you can tune in. Do Man United really have a chance of finishing 4th? No, I don't think so. Gym paying off. Yes, the gym is good. Although, you know, it's like final weekend before I go away. It's been a good weekend. Let's just say beer, pizza, all that gym work gone. Captain Hazard or Sane? I think Sane. Honestly, I would almost say, if you could, obviously this is impossible because there's more than 11 players on each team. But let's say you could say to me, every player is going to play. Let's say every player you own, or every player we all own is going to start. I think Sterling and Sane are the standout options, and you could argue that Sane is potentially even better than Sterling. Do we want to earn real money? Yeah, that's why we have jobs. Why hasn't Mourinho been sacked? Good question. Maybe they've got no one to line up. Are you ditching Ryan now? His fixtures have got bad. I got Fabianski for a -4 and it worked out nicely. Yes, I'm definitely considering getting rid of Ryan. Potentially, we'll have to see how the knee-jerking goes. But I might not make I might not make an outfield transfer this week. So I might do Ryan to Fabianski. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, you would have seen me tweet yesterday that I was an idiot because I was going to go for Balbuena or Diop instead of Schindler, which has obviously been good because they kept a clean sheet. But I decided against it because I wanted Fabianski in goal, and I didn't want to double up on West Ham defence for obvious reasons. And then you would have seen me tweet out saying I'm an idiot, I did Schindler, and I don't actually have enough money to do Ryan to Fabianski now. But I forgot that because I went the Felipe Anderson move instead of the Hazard Sane move, I actually have 0.2 million in the bank. So I can afford Ryan to Fabianski, and I may do that for free this week and not make any other transfers. I'm still I'm not going to do it, I don't think, but I still think Salah to Sane could be just a good move in general. And that's something I've looked at. But I think I'm going to stick the rest. So I mean, that's so boring, I know. A goalkeeper transfer, but sometimes you got to make those boring moves. Where do you... Just saw a question I want to answer, but I can't see it now. Jimenez has been an absolute wonder. Had him in since game week 2 when he rattled the bar. Lots of chances. Yeah, I do find a little bit odd that the last couple of games I've watched him, they kind of play him out wide a little bit for some of the game. Now, I guess it's because they have... I mean, they had, was it Gibbs White up front in the last game. I assume that was kind of a pace thing. Obviously, Jimenez is quite slow in comparison, but he was kind of out wide. I thought it was a bit weird, but still took his chance well, so won't be too annoyed with him. You're worried about Ryan, you have Edison in goal. Yeah, I mean, Edison's been disappointing recently, hasn't he? The only thing I would say about like a premium goalkeeper like Alisson or Edison is you would assume from now until the end of the season they will keep more. They will keep clean sheets more often than not. Do you ever feel obligated to go against your gut instincts because others may be influenced by your decisions? Nope, not at all. If I want to do something, I'll just do it. Clenching did Salah to Hazard this week and it paid off. Nicely done. Jealous. Is this the last stream before Christmas? It is not. There will not be a Thursday stream though. It will be Wednesday this week. That will be the last stream before Christmas. Wednesday it will be the last one. Don't know what time it will be yet. It'll probably be 9:30, but that will be the last one. There won't be a stream on Thursday, just to confirm. 9:30. I don't know how long I'll be on for. I've got to work the next day, but we'll see how it's going. Hopefully there'll be a lot to talk about. Although, obviously we know most of what's going to be talked about. Hazard, Aubameyang, etc., etc. Lacazette, Brooks to Ings and KDB or it's got to be Sane. I just sometimes I know like sometimes as FPL managers we definitely try and overthink things and try and be too clever. And I just think if your decision between De Bruyne and Sane, why would you go for the one that's only just back from injury versus the guy that's one of the in-form players in the league? And he's not even that highly owned still. In fact, let me have a quick look. Let me have a quick look at top 10k ownership. You're at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday. Is there? Oh yeah, of course, league games. Yeah, I just can't do Thursday this week. It was going to be Thursday, but then someone I know is leaving work and they're leaving the country, so I have to go. So I can't do it Thursday. Sucks, but it's just one of those things. Christmas, busy time. Gotta get these things done when you can. What do I use to look at top 10k ownership? I use FPL Discovery. They have like a spreadsheet on there. So let me give you a few here. So this is top 10k ownership. Obviously this isn't the be all and end all. It depends where you are in the rankings. But so Sane is only owned by 28.5% of everyone in the top 10k. I mean, that seems pretty low to me. Not even one in every three managers owns him. Hazard's 43%. Richarlison 70%. He's gone down quite a bit. Felipe Anderson's really high, 56%. Snodgrass only 7.9. And obviously these numbers will change this week. Some players will go down, some will go up. But in comparison, the Sterling's 50%. So Sane for 28%. Like, it's still such a differential for me. And then if you look at forwards, like Kane is owned by 61, Aubameyang 42, so quite close. And Jimenez is only owned by 48%. So every other person doesn't own Jimenez, who's the best player in the league. I think it's more important to look at the top 10k ownership the higher you are. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't get too drawn to constantly checking it and making your decisions just on ownership. Like at the end of the day, if there's a guy that's owned by 80% in the top 10k, yes, he's not going to give you much of a rank increase if you get him. But at the same time, if he's scoring points and you want to kind of hold your rank, it's worth getting him. So as the season goes on, I look at this a bit more and more. But it won't be, someone's ownership will not be my sole reason. Or a lot of the time, I won't even look at ownership, to be honest. But I do find it interesting sometimes. And one of the times I find it really interesting is when someone tells you, don't get him, everyone has him. And you look at it and you think, well, actually, only one in every three people owns X player or whatever. Like Son, for example. Well, I know probably everyone would know that not everybody owns Son, but he's only owned by 18%. So only one in every five managers has him. So if he does well, nice little differential. So I just find it interesting more than something I use all the time. Yeah, exactly. Those ownership stats are from last game week. It's not 100% possible to know what the ownership is before we get to the next game week. So yeah, as players get brought and sold, those ownerships will change during the week, and then you won't find out the actual number till the next deadline. Sterling's the prime captain option this week. I just think him and Salah together. Watching match today, all aboard the Saints bandwagon. Ings, Bednarak, Armstrong. Yeah, Bednarak very cheap, only 3.9 million. Started 2 games now. Armstrong was okay. I think it's a shame he's not. I think obviously he was filling in for. I think has Cedric been playing left back? I can't remember if he's been playing left or right back. Obviously Bertrand's that injured. Matt Target though, 4.2 million. He started the last 3 games. He was good, I thought. But Southampton's fixtures, Man City and Chelsea in game week 20 and 21, not ideal. How did Aubameyang not score? That's what I mean. Really should have. If Sterling starts in the cup, will you still captain him? It depends. If it's Sterling and Mahrez, for example, and Sane gets a rest, then I'd be more tempted to captain Sterling because you'd imagine Mahrez will then get the break in the league. But I don't know. It's so hard to call. You're looking for info that's not, you're guessing on info that you don't know for definite what Pep's going to do. But yeah, if Sterling and Mahrez both start and Sané gets his rest, you'd imagine that because Sterling's had 2 rests in the league recently, he would then start the next game on the right. But I don't know for definite. Big Ricey, how's it going? What's the plan? No transfer needed. Potentially, yeah. I think I can potentially go for no transfer. I could make a defensive one, not play Doherty, but I don't think that's the right call. So maybe Ryan to Fabianski. Brendan, thanks very much for the donation. You've got Lloris and Patricio. Trade Patricio for Fabianski. Lloris has 60 points in 13 games. I mean, the thing with that is, I feel like if you've got a keeper like Fabianski, are you ever really not going to play him? If you've got a keeper like Lloris, are you ever really not going to play him because he's so much money? And if you do play Lloris most weeks, I would be tempted just to either keep Patricio and not use a transfer on a goalkeeper, or just sell him to someone cheaper to get some money. I just think you'll play Lloris because he's. To answer the first question, Fabianski is better than Patricio, I think, yes. But I'm not quite sure you need either if you're going to play Lloris most weeks. It depends how what your strategy is for those keepers, really. Fear Salah running riot at Wolves. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, he could do well. I'm obviously off the back of a hat trick. A lot of people did point out that maybe Bournemouth kind of handed that to him a bit, especially Steve Cook. I'm maybe it's because it's just a bit of a downer around the game week went, but I'm not sure I'm expecting a huge amount from him. So I wouldn't be too panicked if you've not got him. Jesus could be a very handy differential. Yeah, I just don't think Jesus or Aguero are options right now, personally. If Aguero's back on the bench, it can't be that much longer until he gets back in the team, surely. Yeah, the wild card will be in the back pocket soon. Looking forward to it. Would I take out Sane for Hazard? No. Like, just think, like, why would taking out Sane be a good move? I'm really annoyed about my Sane decision because I was playing Call of Duty on Friday night, and I was looking. I hadn't made my transfer, and I knew that Felipe Anderson might go up, so I had to make the move if I wanted him. And I was looking at the stats for Sane, just thinking he's been incredible. Like, him and Sterling, been so good, and I just didn't go for it. So you got to go for him. Just look at his recent stats; they're so good. Let me see current game week who did the best. 51 points lost after last week's wildcard after taking out Salah, Alonso and Robertson. Definitely repaid with 73 points. You're back up to 1,500 rank. Nice, that's a good score this week. Lamella, most shots inside the box for midfielders. Don't look like Sane had that many. Took Aubameyang out to bring back Aguero. Whew, that was a bit risky. That's all good. Don't blame anyone for my own decisions. It happens. I just thought, I won't take that hit. It was more. I mean, I said it millions of times that I didn't expect anything from Salah this week. But obviously now I'm hoping, because I've held him, that Wolves away and Newcastle at home will be really good. But if he blanks in both of those games, then it looks like a really poor decision. You're only 23 points ahead of me in 9k. It's so tight. Yeah, no, I know that a good game week could just, easily claw back that 10k I just dropped. No, I'm through in the cup. You should feel happy owning Son. If he plays, I'm really happy owning Son. I think he can do bits, as you say. Salah to Sterling or Sane is an interesting decision. Obviously, it would have been a lot better to have done it last week. You would have felt better about it, or this week, having played Man United. Look, I think if Sterling and Sane play against Crystal Palace, that's a great game. The other one is Leicester away. So, for me, because Man City are just scoring more goals than Liverpool are, they scored 3 today, to be fair, against Man United. But I don't know. I just think over the next two, Sterling and Salah will both probably outscore Salah, or they could outscore Salah. So if you're going to use that money for something else, then for sure. If you're not, then I'd be tempted just to keep him, because Salah could be a captain option in game week 19 against Newcastle. Long-term plans, Son for Eriksen. Not necessarily. Obviously, Son will need to go when the Asia Cup comes around. At that point, I'm going to have some really tough decisions to make, and that's probably when I'm more likely to look at Aubameyang out, just to fund any upgrades for Son. Not done the polls yet, no. I'll do them in about 10 minutes. Definitely tempted by Hazard. It's just trying to fund him, really. It'd have to be Salah out and... Is it worth it? Could be. Could be. Like his son starts in the cup. Does that? Yeah, I mean, it could happen that way around. That he now plays in the cup again. And then gets rested in the league. But I'll just have to wait for the lineup. But you're right, it does seem a little bit unlikely that he'd play against Barca, get rested, and then not play in the cup as well. Weekly dose of button watch. Played for the under-23s this week, regaining fitness. I actually looked for him on the team sheet this week. I don't know if I really want to even have him, even if he's playing, to be honest. Probably just rather get Fabianski. I mean, Ryan doesn't even get that many saves either. That's what's frustrating. Do you not think that Salah will get rested in game week 19? I don't, to be honest. I know people are looking at that one because it's then Arsenal and Man City, but it's 3 days break between Newcastle and Arsenal, and he would have had 5 days before that game. I think he'll play. I mean, it's not guaranteed, of course, but if he doesn't play, and it's 8 days rest, maybe he will. Maybe he can rest. What's my thoughts on Alonso? Am I losing patience? I'm not really, although you look at recent scores, it is a bit frustrating. 1-6, 0-6 and 1. Hit the post today, hit the woodwork. But the fixtures are there. For me, he's just one of those, I've said this a lot recently, but he's just one of those players where I'm not going to be in a rush to get rid of him. Like, you know, I've looked at Alonso out for whoever I need, and Son to Sane. Possibly if Son looks like he's going to get rested again. So I've looked at that. I'm not against selling Alonso, I don't think. His attacking threat hasn't looked great, although, like I said, did hit the woodwork today. But the fixtures are there, and I just think the points could be coming. So I'm not really in a rush to get rid of him. Ryan was your hero a few weeks ago. How times changed, you're right, yeah. I mean, he was my hero for like 3 weeks when he got 10 points per game. And then, awful. Swap Laporte for Dean or no? Not this week, I don't think. Did I discuss about Kane? Yeah, I talked about premium strikers right at the start. Stay positive on Son. Spurs looked so much more threatening when he came on. Oh, I'm happy with Son. Although I'm not sure how good a fixture Everton away is. What I really want to happen is him to play against Bournemouth and Wolves at home. Boxing Day captain, maybe? No, probably not. Be Salah, but still. How did I do in my first ever season of FPL? Good question. I think I came about 15k. Oh no, 20k. 20,698. Okay, in my first season. But those first 3 seasons I had, I won my mini league, the only real mini league that I played in at the time, so early on. Like, I'd be 100 points clear with like 10 game weeks to go. I used to just take lots of hits at the end. Pep is giving Sane rest every game, not playing more than 6-70 minutes. You reckon he'll play every game until Mendy's available? You could be right, yeah. Boxing Day is the 26th of December, the day after Christmas Day. That's what we mean when we say Boxing Day. Is Martial, Lingard worth looking at? Look, I think there's probably better options than them. But if you're looking for a little bit of a differential, then yeah, for sure. Man United have got great fixtures. So you could look at one of them. I think I'd maybe slide with Lingard because of the price, although he's not that much cheaper. But Martial did look... When Martial's back now, you'd imagine he gets more... Imagine he now gets starts again because he was so good before. Thoughts on the Wolves defence? I don't think my opinion has changed from last stream, really. I think Doherty's good. Not sure I'd be getting anyone else right now. Because if they do happen to get a clean sheet, obviously he gets that as well. If they don't, he's got attacking threat. So I'm happy with Doherty. I'm not sure I'd be happy with many other Wolves players. Unless I doubled or tripled this week. Seems to me that whenever Sissoko plays in the Spurs 11, that's Kane's goal threat gone. But Sissoko's played quite a bit, hasn't he? He can't be the only problem, surely. Starting every game, isn't it? Yeah, mostly. He started pretty much every game since Gameweek 8, apart from one game. Thoughts on Hazard in the false 9 role? I didn't see the game today. I saw the one against Man City. Yeah, he looked okay. I mean, it's something he's done before, but not regularly. So let's give him some time, I suppose. And a lot of people comparing him to, is it Mertens? I think Sarri kind of converted him into like a false 9 striker, whatever you want to call it. Look, what can you say about Hazard? He got 9 points now. He's got 13 points in that position. So it's obviously not affecting him too much. When is Trent back? We don't know yet. Alonso's too much money and not delivering. You're right. At the moment, there are other defenders performing just as well for less money. Now, whether you get rid of him is a different question. I'm not sure I will be right now. When do you think Aguero will be back? He didn't get any minutes today, did he? I know De Bruyne did. Have a quick look. Yeah, he didn't. I imagine he'd get some minutes over the next couple of games, but Aubameyang to Aguero, I'm just not sure about that. Personally. Yes, Aubameyang's a bit frustrating. He hasn't done anything in the last few games really, apart from that assist. Burnley at home. Is that last chance saloon? Maybe. Have to do something against Burnley, surely. Yeah, I think that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much spot on with Man City and Sterling. Like at the end of the day, and Pep said this. Sterling has threat from Mahrez. Now, Mahrez is not as good as Sterling, I don't think, especially in the way that City line up. But the thing is, they'll win with either against most teams in the league. They'll win with Sterling or Mahrez. So Mahrez does let him give Sterling a rest whenever he needs. Whereas Sane's playing on the left and he looks a bit less rotation prone because who else is going to play there? Sterling can play there. When Sterling came on, Sane went off and Sterling played on the left. So he can do that, but I think he definitely prefers Sane. I'm all for, in the right circumstances, situation or your team or whatever, I'm not against selling Laporte, no. Snodgrass looks a fantastic buy at the moment. He's going to be in that team because Yarmolenko is out. I just think, yeah, for his price, almost a no-brainer. Imagining years gone by, the majority having absolutely no Man United players when they got teams like Cardiff, Huddersfield, Bournemouth, and Newcastle. I know, it's just how low they've gone. If you had neither, who would you say is the better option, Sane or Sterling? I don't want to write Sterling completely off, to be honest, but Sane does look like he's going to be rested as much as Sterling or a little bit less. It doesn't look like Sane's going to be rested more than Sterling, so straight away that looks good. Threat-wise, they're both quite similar. Sane's cheaper as well, so I almost think I'd go Sane right now if I could only have one. My preference is to have both, of course. Yeah, we'll do the polls in just 1 minute, so if you haven't voted already, make sure you do it now, and we'll do it in a sec. Or 1 minute. Would I swap Keane for Dean? Yeah, absolutely. I would. If you could offer me that free transfer right now, I'm all in. My cup opponent played triple captain on Lacazette. You beat him 90 to 50. You got 90 points. Damn. Nicely done. Nicely done. Am I selling Alonso? Probably not. Would I really play Doherty against Liverpool rather than Keane? I do think it is actually quite tight between those two because obviously Liverpool, you'd probably bet on Liverpool to score more goals than Spurs. I may still switch. I just think attacking wise, Doherty may be a little bit better. But of course, you know, Keane from corners or free kicks or whatever could be good. The Fantasy Football Scout comparison tool says Ings over Wilson and Jimenez. Considering Sigurdsson, Lacazette to Ings and Hazard, that sounds like great moves, to be fair. Would I play Doherty or Schindler? Schindler, I think. I know it's not nice benching. It's not a nice thought benching Doherty because he has done well attacking wise, but I would still try and go for the clean sheet first. And you've got to think that Southampton's a better fixture than Liverpool. Although Neither Huddersfield nor Wolves have been keeping many clean sheets, to be fair. But I think I would play Schindler ahead of Doherty. Like, for me, this week, I'm playing Alonso and Schindler for sure, and then it's between Doherty and Keane for the last spot. Do I think I'll sell Salah? No, I don't think I will this week. It's frustrating because it's not frustrating. It's just I have to make the decision. And, of course, I think Salah can do something against Wolves. I'm not expecting a clean sheet for Doherty. But deep down, I know that Sane is probably the better option for less money. I kind of want to spread that money straight away, but just in a straight up race for FPL points, Salah versus Sane this week. Maybe I should just get Sane. But I just wonder, maybe he's changing Ryan to Fabianski. That might be an okay move as well, although goalkeeper transfer is just horrible. Do I think the way the season's been going, a power midfield might be the way to go? I do, yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what I'm aiming for now. Not quite the power there just yet, but I've started moving towards it. Andy, sell Alonso. I think it's always one of those things like, yes, okay, there's cheaper defenders that are performing as well, but like, I keep saying this, and I feel like I'm like a broken record in recent weeks. FPL is a game where you have to manage transfers because you only get one free one every week. You can't make unlimited transfers every week, so you've got a plan. And are there cheaper defenders that could perform just as well as Alonso over the next 4 or 5? Yeah. Would that money be helpful? Yes. But is that my first priority right now with that team? Salah could be changed to Sane. Ryan could be changed to Fabianski. Do I need Aubameyang? Maybe not. So is Alonso the one I should be looking at? Not sure. Who do you even sell him to? Sell him for? Rudiger, David Luiz, you stick with Chelsea? If you think Chelsea can get clean sheets, I might as well just keep Alonso. Since Christmas dinner is on a Sunday this year, will you do a Sunday roast Christmas dinner? I mean, Christmas dinner is basically Sunday roasted, isn't it? It's just turkey instead of... It's basically turkey and pigs in blankets, otherwise it's the same. Got 3 budget strikers. I've been getting Captaincy right almost every week, which has helped me a lot. Yeah, Captaincy is huge. Like I've said it before, it turns a good week into a great week or a bad week into a good week if you nail the Captaincy. Alright, let's do the polls. I'll quickly refresh them now. Dun, 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 dun. See how long they take. Cheers, Gerasimos. Hopefully I got that right. Still refreshing. Okay. Here we go. Should we go without premium strikers? 69% of you saying no. You still want to keep 1 or 2 of Kane, Aubameyang, and maybe even Aguero now. Obviously 31% saying yes, we should go without them. Sane or Sterling? Sterling's still winning, 64%. Obviously Sane with 36%. So Sterling's still favourites in a lot of people's books. So I wonder if that's because a lot of us own Sterling. I'm not sure it's quite that much in his favour, although he's still a great option. I think people have kind of forgotten about him, even though could be the best captain this week. Is Kane worth the money? 64% say no. 36% who still own him saying yes. And then Alonso, keep or sell. Only 54% saying keep, so it's very close with him. 46% saying to sell. If you own the Spurs threat, or midfielder, I guess, Eriksen, Son, Ale, is Kane worth it? I mean, you've got to weigh them up separately, I think. Like, is Kane worth it or not? It doesn't really make a difference if you've got one of the midfielders. I don't think he's necessarily worth the money in general, whether you've got a Spurs midfielder or not. How long will Hazard be out? He might not even be out. Wait to get further news down the line. Right, people, I'm going to leave it there. It's been a late one. I know the stream's not quite as long as usual, but I'm knackered, if I'm honest. And obviously I didn't want to do it this late, but always got to make sure there's a stream after the game week, and wasn't quite sure if I could do it tomorrow. So we did it tonight. talked about a lot of stuff. There will be another stream this week. It will be Wednesday. It will not be Thursday this week, and that will be the last one before Christmas. So maybe a few beers. Probably about 9:30. I don't expect it to be earlier. So Wednesday 9:30, and I'll have a video out hopefully on Tuesday with the game week preview. So yeah, we'll talk about any other questions you got that we haven't gone through tonight. Maybe I'll have some more thoughts about what transfers and stuff I'm going to make, if any. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And I'll just quickly do the Patreon shout out because I'm rubbish and forgot. So thanks to the producers Dean P, Marchek, Alex C, Melissa B, Ryan T.O.B, Matthew H, Hayden H, and Christopher M. A new Patreon this week, Scott S. If you want to check out what that's all about, if you want a chance of winning the league prize, the league mugs, getting into our Discord channel and chatting about FPL, the links are in the description below, and you can check that out. So thanks to those people for supporting through that way. Otherwise, yes, I'll leave it there. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I will catch you on Wednesday, 9:30 PM UK time. Thanks.